Everyone, close your eyes. Picture your 5-year-old self in the summer and think of what is happiness to you. Now open your eyes. Happiness to me is a smile on my face with sticky hands while eating watermelon. Now tell me you can't imagine your 5-year-old self like that. With watermelon being one of the fruits that represent summer, of course there are proper techniques on how to cut watermelon. Today I will show you on how to cut watermelon. There's a perfect way that's just right and perfect for a summer day. First, you need the utensils, and second, you need to learn how to cut it. First, you need to learn how to cut it, such as placement and all. Although cutting watermelon seems hard, there are simple steps that I can give you to make it easy and to make it taste more perfect. The first thing I'm going to show you is the utensils. The first thing you need is a knife that's strong, sharp, and long enough to cut through the watermelon. The second thing you need is a big bowl so you can place all the watermelon when you're done cutting it. And the third thing you need is a big cutting board that's strong enough and big enough to hold the watermelon. After getting all the utensils, it is then time to cut the watermelon. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut the watermelon in half, which I already did. And then after that, you're going to cut the watermelon again, in half again. And it's easier to cut one side down first, and then you go from the other side to start. I'm only going to do one half of the watermelon today because it's a lot. So after I'm done cutting all that, you're then going to take one piece and you're going to turn it to the side where the green part is facing you. You're going to cut that in half again. After you cut that in half, you're going to turn it to the side, on the side like this, and the green part is facing you. You're then going to start cutting down and it'll turn into perfect triangles. So as you're cutting down, you just go down in a row and it's really easy. You then get a triangle as in the watermelon. As you keep cutting, you just cut all the way through, and it's either if you want it bigger or smaller. This is one of the bigger sizes, and then this is one of the smaller ones. And then this is kind of like one that didn't really form it, but that's the end, so it's going to happen. Although watermelon is great tasting and cutting it a certain way, although watermelon is already great tasting, cutting it a certain way may add some extra flavor. People cut watermelon in many ways, but to me personally, my way is the best. First, let me run through the steps one last time. Starting with the utensils. You need a knife strong enough to cut through the watermelon, a cutting board big enough to support the watermelon, and knowing how to pick the watermelon. If you want to get a good watermelon, it has to be hollow and it has to have a little bit of yellow on the bottom or the side. Second, knowing how to properly cut the watermelon. First, you're going to do is you're going to cut it in half, and then you're going to lay it on its side and cut it in half again. After you're done doing that, you then just start cutting the watermelon into triangles, and it turns out like this. Nothing makes watermelon taste better than eating it in a hot summer day cut into perfect triangles. Because once cut into perfect triangles, they are one in a million.